there is a transport minister and there's a deputy. But for some reason, Kwadwo Sheldon na ne tuatua wo se petuo ayase no. Be man ho tantan se de ya boni dua fa na se. A dirty fool who has gotten some dirty woman here in America to stay with. And agene ne say, aha, ye territory. Sa arrest no say, Woodbridge na otete no, we will take it to you. They want to find a way to victimize her like the same way they did to Vicky Hammer. Inti Oma gange up on Twitter. And this Kwadwo Sheldon boy, Ofori-Atta odi ne yire ni mechire. Oba na oda ne chi no because onim se mema omne oba ne da dos nti. Oba na odi ne chi na Spanish ni na wo na odi ti kurom ha. Akwasia oti one bedroom dai mu a. Jimini sa no, I've gathered some boys on Twitter. Hey, this on some membo kwasia wedding. And I'm going to take from today, it's going to be murky. It's going to be dirty. We are going to enter your homes. I will start with Kwadwo Sheldon himself. Wako bunko for Ghana beto paper ukroma sa obe ware ukroma ha. Inti obe ya American citizen. Ode wasam ya mobo se kura. Kwadwo Sheldon. Oyire na o edi uma commit sa crime no. Wasam ya mobo se kura. And Ofori-Atta kura kofi. Wasam ya mobo se kura. But all these things. Shede eba no. 2 minutes pe on this matter. 2 minutes. On the travel ban issue. And right now, I know 90% of Ghanaians, we all know what's going on. U.S. visa pause does not affect short-term travel for Ghanaians. Ambassador Victor Smith. Now, Metumaka say, Oba ambassadors are the embassy etimi enya a swift. Metumaka said 2 embassies in the world, in ambassadors who are doing exceptionally well. I know of the U.S. and also the U.K. And the kind of complaints are not Ghana for it was from the US and the UK. And for some time now, Ambassador Smith by Madam Zita echo the UK. You have seen say professionalism, abedu the level Ghana for are all satisfied. Obviously, they are not getting things perfect, but we can compare this performance. Yeah, they compare what was happening before. It looks like Papa Uswan Kumamno. Now say hono be say na ono angasa no say honeymoon no deal say you. And when you come back here, mami ano ha mahame, sa mami ano ye Ekufuado ambassador no okrum ha. Ono no ntumi pon kenkan chro. Ono de no kenkan kro on tiase. Ono na okenkan po on tiase. That woman left her post 1 year before Ekufuado free office. 2023 no free krum ha. Ghana no TZ. So you could see the difference. And now Ghanaians can tell you, and the Ofori Ghana embassy in US and DC and New York, they will pick up. They will talk to you. They might not even be able to help you instantly. But majority of the time, but at least somebody talks to you. You see people who are working for you. And it is exceptional. We need to praise these people. They have the experience. You see, Victor Smith has been there before. He understands. He understands customer service. He understands how an embassy should work. And we are seeing progress. Yamaya 41 years. Everything will be good. We are seeing progress. This is just 1 year. Now, the ambassador has spoken. And I'm saying it is America for the Asamoah beto. Let me spend 2 minutes because Sebio echo your kwasia and Asamoah beto no won tiasia obeka say Ghana for ntumi tu kwan kwa abrochiri echere Sebio kwotisa and echere bia we jimijimi a ebia wo yare ba 1% nipa behu echere wankasa ne oyire ene obi da wo Ghana a sebia wo gina phone so nwumre bia ebusa oyire say hena okoye and obeka say sa asem we complicated echere obi di wo yire e wo Ghana abra wonim a untumi nko Ghana a sesi na hyehyehye wo ho a unim se oyire nnafie e kire wa unim se oti America wo yire nnafie obi di oyire wo Ghana e na oti tok eco school inti wagimi nti untumi nti ase inti ba sa na ensem nchechem na edin na ma mindwom simple. Ambassador Baba Nchabeka say US visa pause does not affect short-term travel for Ghanaians. Now, when you look at this, it was clear. I'm say US to suspend immigrants visa processing for 75 countries, including Ghana. Nigeria from January 21st. You see US, a minor, taking a decision. And that decision is against 75 nations around the world. So if it's against 75 nations, why does it have to look like Ghana could the US bonnet and the Ghana Beka group we? The US and and I'm saying they are taking a decision, and that decision is in the interest of the United States of America. And the decision is that they want to pause visa bi omodema nipa kuo bi a mo category bim because omo person omo hwehwe nyoma bi mu America and sana omo makwan say sa nipa kuo de betuma ba America. That's it. Ghana and the US attempt. Ghana and the US are fine. Ghana, diplomatically, Ghana is one of the biggest allies on the planet right now to US. And what is so exceptional about this? Unless you are stupid, unless you say, okay, can I want to unless you crasini or force on so near be a chair be out your country no be do you Ghana and then also as so die so unkofio so won't be ma and out here so I do it. Into I say as so die Emma okay can kwasiasem a chair we Jimmy and now maybe I'll cut to and a wound your wonka. Now you immigrant visa and your non-immigrant visa, it speaks for itself. It's self-explanatory. You can be an immigrant or be a non-immigrant. It's simple. Non-immigrant, eba for short stay. Immigrant, eba for a longer stay. You see, pause there, the abano. Omwa, ebi to say, o maame, wa file amano, or betina ha che, abeji green card, ababe a citizen. O yerebi, o beso de neba, wa file amano, or betina ha, aji green card, abe a citizen. Obu ha, or ba school, or betina ha, aye juma, abeji document. Sankofono, a long term, omo apply for immigrants, their status. You are non-immigrant. Oba Ghana, Oba US, abeshe a World Cup, no asako. Into US for one brom there, but almost say, almost a category numa, ebi okofa maamiaba, okofa braba, okofa oyeraba, okofa unibiaba manabetna, abaye paperwork at him, ache, abeji, ebia citizenship wahano. Almost a process, no, almost halt at Tosu Kakra. Almost you now more person will call US World Cup. No, it does not affect you. Finito, eche we Jimmy. Echire we Jimmy, echire wo ti America do bi di oyire o Ghana untumi nda anadwu bia oni gina phone so ye bebe echire ni nyina abotre echire ya boldua na wonim se wo ankasa uwu inside o pro echire wo sofo aka cha se nje obewu echire wo ankasa wodim se sebio wo kenkan a wonti ase ukoti so na wonim nyansa na wodim efu echire wo Jimmy for na wonti ade we ase simple. Do you need a PhD to understand this? It's Ghana for as simple as that. More mobile to Kwanko America as tourists. Echo World Cup easy. US for some blockades. You can still apply. More our paper. More K1. More na more they say. Wow, also Babetta US. Abedin Krata Betin Mache. Yeah, a big crab citizens. No, Omona see as our process. No, my hot no. Omon Castle Muchum. Almost on the pause at Toso. They are doing some few things in America. They'll open the floodgate. Oh, how they saying. Where so enkoyi kasachole bebrebe echire we Jimmy echire bi obi di oyire na esisi wo so echire bi aboy tuntum na oye adwuma ewo eyi no odi oyire na wehu na wonhu dia wonye wa wontumi nkofie wo so a wontumi ntina na aya eidaye so na de bia osoro na wo to sakode anwum aboa na momem fansim yendwudwam. Now there's something going on, and that thing that's going on no a very funny and interesting. Now, my mention, and it's about the Ghana Water Company. Yes, see, and in fact, before I do the Ghana Water Company, let me quickly talk about this, and it's got to do with transport. Yes, see, Ghana, a shame. So, obia point mabinya ka akofi na why ding. Inti, and the Ghana for be one crying omo kasa. Now, the question you ask yourself, and I say, how did we get here? Nipa omunya kamfo ewo Ghana and then did it start just today? Now, so I'm starting now. What are we going to do to solve the problem? Now, before I delve into this matter, I want to state this categorically, and I'm going to say this because of past experience. You see, MPP for no, and some few boys be on social media. Now, we are also going to take the fight to them because, you see, when John Mahama first, and John Mahama, time be the president first time, year 2012, no, the NPP adopted something. And that thing they adopted was that when you are part of the Mahama administration, now you're bar, now maybe you have qualities maybe regular people or regular women don't have. And I mean, can say maybe a fair. And now, you have worked hard to get to where you have to get at. What the MPP does, and say, in the past, it happened to the lady and my friend Vicky Hammer. The NPP almost share people in the NDC government, and they get young boys and young girls, and what they do is they deliberately decide to bully them. It happened to Vicky Hammer. a very fine lady, a very fine brain, very intelligent lady, because of how she looked, because of maybe the onyamede man na emba bebre no omuni binti. It was something the NPP deliberate say sa obano omobe say no, and they had their way. They did everything possible to destroy that lady. In fact, that lady was so strong to the point where at the point on what to me then building her back, whereby on social media I saw her come back full, put herself together and become the woman she has always wanted to become. But you see, it has become something bigger. NPP for a year for a long time. And what they are doing now is, that's what I'm saying, sir, right now there. First, then we were like, something, let us slide. No. They have started something on social media, and it's been started by this boy. Your friend Kwadwo Sheldon. This is a boy, resting, and I say, Woodbridge, baby. He lives in a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom, some dirty place like that. Now, what they are doing is say the NPP people need be Amasa boys whisker, and now they want to find a way to start their Vicky Hammer strategy again. They have decided to pick on this lady who is the deputy transport minister, Dr. Afutuo. Say I don't normally talk about Kwadwo Sheldon because I see him to be one of the daftest fool on social media. Somebody who cannot construct 4 sentences without jumping into pidgin. He is not intellectually sound to be discussed. But I feel, say, because they are leading an agenda to pick on some woman and deliberately do what they did in the past, I am also going to draw the line, pick on him, pick on his wife, because it's so easy. Say right now, though, America, right now, we all know everybody's status in America. And Donald Trump, amana easy. We all know, say, Otikro mama, Spanish nibi, edini yere, eme de akorebia sheno, into his head, wawari America niba, niba American, we are here. Now, for them to come together to say, transport won samaba abachi or Ghana. But for some reason, when you go on Twitter, there are some dirty boys over contracting among these NPP people because of the way this woman looks, how she has conducted herself and carried herself. They have decided to pick on her because they think it's an easy sport. Now, what I want to say is say, for a long time, we gave these young boys, at least they nimuno, but we can also go after them and let them feel the heat. It's about time we made it clear, say we are also going to take it to them and their wives and their kids. Because you have seen, say, they want to turn this social media thing into, oh, you support Bawumia, me support Bawumia, into we need to find a way to victimize people. The issue with transport in Ghana did not start today. There is a transport minister and there's a deputy. But for some reason, Kwadwo Sheldon na ne need to was a petuo ayasno. Beman what time say they are boni duafa na se. A dirty fool who has gotten some dirty woman here in America to stay with. And Argentinian say, aha, a territory. So Reston will say, Woodbridge now to tell we will take it to you. We are going to make it dirty and murkier. Senebeya, you will not be comfortable in this country. And when I say comfortable, the same way you are using social media to bully people, we will take the social media to you. And you see, this country, it do that point, we are not going to entertain foolishness again. You can stay in Ghana and fool. It's okay. And Connecticut, we will make sure they burn from inside. And I just say it's a deliberate thing. Now, what did this woman do? The thing you say, transport won't send Samaba. And people are talking. Accra, Nipa Nyakamfo. Now, this woman's only mistake she did was she came on her own Facebook, on her Twitter, and tweeted, say, with renewed resolve and a clear sense of duty, we serve our nation with discipline, courage, and unwavering commitment. Guided by the mandate of the people, we remain resolute in working decisively and collectively to advance national progress, uplift lives, and strengthen our motherland. Basically, this order the woman said. Now, what the Bawumia bulu for are doing, and they say, and I'm not saying the roads minister, the transport minister is not working, but what they want to do is say, because of how this woman looks, they want to find a way to victimize her like the same way they did to Vicky Hammer. Inti Oma gange up on Twitter, and this Kwadwo Sheldon boy, Ofori-Atta or the yiri ni mechreye, Obana or dani chino. Because onim say in memomne obane dados inti Ofori-Atta or the obane ni mechreye. Obana or de China Spanish ni na wona or ni ti krom ha. Kwasia or ti 1 bedroom dai mua. Debia or te curtains or te window enim. On to me sorry any video or the dem. Because a dana or your video and one of them. Jimmy Sano, they have gathered some boys on Twitter. Hey, this also member Kwasia wedding. But I'm going to take from today, it's going to be murky. It's going to be dirty. From today, it's going to be dirty. Whoever is on Kwadwo Sheldon's platform is going to take this. We are going to enter your homes. I will start with Kwadwo Sheldon himself. Obeto paper ukroma obeto wakubunko for Ghana obeto paper ukroma say obe ware ukroma ha enti obe ya American citizen. Oh, what the was some mobo say kura. Kwadwo Sheldon. O yire na or edi uma commit sa crime no was some mobo say kura. Can Ofori-Atta kura kofi. O was some mobo say kura. So this hardworking deputy transport minister, they started picking on her. Oko Twitter, let's go insult her. But there's a transport minister. If you even have a problem with the transport ministry, at the end of the day, who are you supposed to basically question if we are having issues with transport in Ghana? You go to Sheldon, minimum address, minimum number. The right people will come to you, and you need to state why some of the things you did. Refugees. And I'm going to say $100, $200, a year for a reform, and you think you can do the same thing because when politicians in Kwasiaphobia, a dirty riffraff like you think you can sit on Twitter with some dirty boys and girls to intimidate this woman. John Mahama, the reason tia oyi woman way as a deputy to the minister. Now, say about what is happening today in Ghana. About transportation and the Ubia Air Kanwasem. It is a big deal. And it didn't start, the problem didn't start today. And the problem has so many branches. Branches in the GPRTU. Branches in the government. Branches in the drivers' attitude. Branches in the we the citizenry. So when it comes to transportation, it is not something we will sit here and say, we are going to delve into the matter. This woman has worked hard in less than a year. Mami Way left her family, her beautiful family, who are better than you. This woman left the shores of Ghana in the early days of John Mahama's government, flew all the way outside to go and negotiate for buses. Kwasia, adene kufu adomo, omu free power, odu kwasia babaha, abati tetedem, oba tetedem, ote curtains sechi, 1799 curtains. Blind na oti enim na oye video. Kwasia, osoria, waso phone esi uso, use America da form. Mami we janema, eni ne busia ho, ena ofu plane. Se plane koto no twene yanka kwasia te se wo, anka wo Spanish ni edi wo yire. Spanish ni na edi wo yire. Se o girl so yire no ubechirem aboa oja weho to go and negotiate, talk about vehicles, buses to come and save oma ameno papa nkwasiafo ebusuafo no Ghana no. We ebusuafo nkwasiafo no Ghana no, se bigu nkwasiafo no. She went out there, risk her life to do what? To go get buses for kwasia tesawo. And then say nkwasiafo no to o platform so no. Omo hu fin aimless people no gusu no. I can take care of them till they die. Plus you. Then you think that it is easy to pick on somebody because Kwasiebi in politics is telling you, do this, do this, do this. Now, who guys are supported by Bawumia or platform no? Ni papa minesi wono. O the day who guys are MPP ni or platform ni papa no. O platform ni focus ni den. We are di we anyway nya fine. We are twi we car. We do Jimmy for. Na ko fa sansa for beguso. O platform ni papa minesi wono. Now this woman had to travel out of Ghana, stay out of Ghana, go and visit companies that are building buses. Omubetumi dia ba eye Ghana. Ekufuado ne Bawumia Kwasiafo tina Ghana 8 years. They did not retool our transport sector once. Can you show me one video of Ekufuado retooling the transport sector? You foolish dirty boys and girls who go to Twitter. You don't have any work to do. And then you sit there and you start to talk like Marjorie Nyejuma. This one, and this is what she did. She was out of this station. She went all the way out there, Metro Mass, to receive more than 350 new buses in February 2026. They went out there to go negotiate. These are people who are proactive. Mami wey eja na yire ne ma ene ne busia ho afu plane. Na abofu no ohwo ahu fin na oda ha di jantre ni. Ohwo ahu fin na odi jantre ni okrom ha. Okwa na obi abeda saage no so. Aboa wa wo uso kwa DNA. O pesa obeka kromanti wama obi abedi jantre ni ma also oba. You people want us to do this, we will do this from now. If you people want us to go this way, we will go this way, and this way is going to be murkier and dirtier. This woman, this is what she did, and she did it but because yena yasumano.
So these are the new buses coming in very soon. We are here in Cairo to inspect, to make sure that everything is intact. And truly, we are very happy with what we are seeing. So very soon, it's coming to Ghana, and we are very happy. The resetting agenda for His Excellency the President is on. About 300 pieces coming. So Ghanaians, get ready for Metro Bus.
You people foolish boy. Kwasiade ne Kufuado every pound na be jantra betna. Na me some betna Ghana millions. This is what people are doing, putting their lives on the line. Oba Ghana no be use Kwasiafo na ye Kwasi adwuma unya $1,000 na twa ticket ababru chiri. Omo no magimi ntra na be use omo. Those MLS kids, they are kids. They don't have anything. They don't have any value. They have nothing to their disposal. And come back and say, hey, now, what are we getting from this? At their age, come on, brochira, come on, where is dying? Ghana na funtra. So you have gotten some people's children who are not smart, very ignorant because omu camera da. Because omu fear no sikapapa bi eni ho. Inti wu jimi omo, kasa, into omu pia, no mwenya jenefo bi ni omo da. Na nka wo kwasia, abrochire broni akwara nka wo betumi kasa obi ntina edan mo kasa. They don't know what they are worth. In the Kwasia be use someone. Now the be politics now be 1,000 now the 700 of a third class. What they are for third class 44B. Now to 44B economy here bini no betna ha. No mo Jimmy anopa almost sorry anoma kwatena ho. Ye kasama Kwasia mpenyi na jantre ni na edi ne yire no abta ba ba gisika no. Omo nim nyansa ntira. Na nka omo horizon here wide and they can see far. And come establish your dada. So sound na Jimmy Good platforms no. Senka omo smart. And omo to be horizon and omo who say you so say moi. Anka camera ne boy is saying building your own platform is saying. But omo Jimmy, they are just scared. They don't have that confidence to be themselves. Inti when yankwara bi na use omo say slaves. What do you carry? Na kwasia obi ye juma. You sit on Twitter, you and your dirty boys. Because of low self-esteem. Why is that cramine got bottle the nam Jimmy? You think you and your small boys, $50, $20, 20 Ghana, you can sit on Twitter and talk shit. Let me show you something. Now let's talk about what is happening in Ghana today. Now, issue with transportation in Ghana started abeng. Let's take our time. Greater Accra region, commuters decry failing transportation system. Let me enlarge it. Date benesheso. Date so November 16, 2024. November 16th, 2024. And your reporting wo news say commuters omo foka wa Ghana ediko adwuma edi ye omo nyoma back and forth. Omo start complaining about cars eni ho. Omo po adwuma omo nya cars mfa nko fie. So it means this government has not created any problem. This problem we are facing is an existing problem. So what is going on today, no? The question is, how are we going to solve it? How are we going to make sure, say, the AC and the NCBM? Now, we all know what is happening in Ghana. We all know when it comes to transportation, Nipebi decided, say, they are going to make this government unpopular. And I can tell you, most Ghanaians know what I'm talking about. The people who are making a car, one send some ding, one GPRTU, and two, the drivers. In Ghana today, Obian to me Gina stage Bianca say, Ghana ne etino, petrol boy ding. You lie bad. Nobody in Ghana. Now here, Ayalolo buses. This is 2026. Only 80 of 245 Ayalolo buses in operation. And Ayalolo buses na John Mahama NDC Mutoye almost bear 300, no, only 80 are working. Kwadwo Sheldon kwasi ampenyi o dirty boys. So come and listen. How did we get here? Say there were 245 buses. A government bought and left for another regime to maintain and expand. You know, how did we get here? Where? How did we get here? Where? Those 245 buses, you know, 80 per. How did we get here? Was somebody doing their job? Was somebody retooling the transport system? Was somebody maintaining what they came to inherit? Ayalolo buses are John Mahama Toya and Son of Free Power. They 245. And then I say, I got 80 per and a juma. Emma Ghana for only 80. Now, the most interesting thing about what I'm telling you. Now, when you look at STC, government direct STC buses back on road amid transport congestion. Now, Babusa will say, STC signed a car. Now, let's go back. Now, I'm sure DB. We are why we are having this problem today. Let's go back.
Now, it is a daunting task for passengers to board commercial vehicles, locally known as trot in the city of Accra during peak hours. According to passengers, the worsening transportation situation is making life unbearable for them. They say the government must address the failing transport system in the Greater Accra region. Channel 1 News' Philip Nilate reports.
Walking long distances and standing at bus stops for hours to board a commercial vehicle seems to be the norm for the ordinary Ghanaian who seeks to get to work early and return safely after a long day's work in some parts of the Greater Accra region. The disorganized transportation system in Ghana appears to have worsened. Passengers are compelled to wake up early to secure their spot in the few available churches in the morning to beat the gridlock and to get to work on time. The cycle repeats after work. Individuals heading to Kaswa often call Pokwase Ablekuma, Amasaman, in Sawam and other areas in the region.
Remember, this video I was 2024. Don't get it wrong. Video I was 2024 video. So don't get it wrong. This is 2024. Now NPP in the power. So this crisis now ocean 2024. I want to remind you. Let's go back.
Now it is a daunting task.
The disorganized transportation system in Ghana appears to have worsened. Passengers are compelled to wake up early to secure their spot in the few available churches in the morning to beat the gridlock and to get to work on time. The cycle repeats after work. Individuals heading to Kaswa often call Pokwase Ablekuma, Amasaman, in Sawam and other areas in the region find it very difficult to get transportation to work and back to their homes. Some traders at the Central Business District of Accra are compelled to walk from Accra to Roxy, Total, and Kwame Nkrumah Circle in search of a commercial vehicle to go home after work.
inside no one eba Rosie abepeka. And because a honey no more car hoarding. Answer no be free her, abeduru no. Or do call for Uncle Barrier. Bet me I catch us over you 20 Ghana. Hansu the obedran say hands or muludu 10 cities. We cry says 5 but overcall Mumba 10 cities and son of the Wako. Tia Bam saying about a pekka. I know Crano, I just say about play one son in your car. Or play one son when your car.
But those who from Pokwasi and the Asamoah, they are finding it difficult to get car. Always, every evening, they have to walk from the Royce Park through to the Kingsway, right down here before they can get a car. And there's no car. And I think the vehicle, government have to, get something to do about it for them. Those Ayalolo, they have to be enough buses, transport to transport the people back home every evening. Because it's very hectic. Sometimes when it rains, when you see people here, my brother, you cry for them. Sometimes it can be up to 11 o'clock. Last a friend go home almost 2 o'clock. And the next day, 8 o'clock, you have to be at work. Waiting for car. Just here. You see, just close to this bus stop here. He was standing here to 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock before he got a car. So those are the problems we are facing here. You need to get a good transportation system. Like you said, the train have to go there, then the other buses too have to, go there, those areas, those far ahead. Because, every day people are from far place coming to Accra. Every day then you come every day. So they should do something about it.
The struggle worsens at Kwame Nkrumah Circle, Mr. Biggs, and Graphic Road bus stops, among others, as passengers fight their way into public vehicles. Some disgruntled passengers bemoaned the situation.
They say problem they facing is they say not on a Juma and fair open emoji. They say transport na to some lord fair na to so no and ye Juma sa has a Juma. If you are Kopoko, so a BG 10 CD, a BG 15, Asamoah 15, Taifa 10 CD. Asamoah old station, there's so many short. So, anything nipa na gu ha bebre, nipa no ha bebre, no hu nipa bebre e wa na asechire no no. Eye kwan na omo ye no. Na railway no, eye Asamoah nsam kwan na omo ye no. Ana ama traffic. E say kwan na nye enti no. I say omo kwa, omo brain na sefo na traffic. And train no say nye adwuma. Tie nye adwuma ne de ye fe ne say ama omo mu fi Accra ba ni na bebre na nante e ba ha se.
Now, it is a daunting task for passengers to board commercial vehicles, locally known as...
...have tried to fix the country's transportation issues, but the problem keeps worsening. Urban development specialist Dr. Bernard Abeku-Arthur says the country has a failed public transport system.
We have a failed public transport system. Failed in the sense that anytime you see taxis, trotros, two-wheelers and three-wheelers running public transport, there is a failure. It's a failure in the sense that our policy, our national transport policy, states clearly that public transport shall be done by high occupancy vehicles, that is 50, 60, 80-seater buses to run public transport. So within the city, in the immediate ring around the city, the outer ring, we are looking at public transport of high occupancy vehicles. And that includes trains as well. So you take people en masse.
In Greater Accra.
Truth is, our public transport is mainly by road now. But under normal circumstances, we should have water transport. We should have trains running within the city to look at ensuring that we have the road architecture is such that it supports public transport. We want to tweak it in a way that trotros, buses, and all that will have their place in the public transport system. But when it comes to the inner city and maybe specific routes, would want to have this type of bus service.
This was in 2024. Now MPP in our power. So the problem was about how our transportation system was bad. Our population increasing. We are getting more and more people taking over the transport system and duping the people at the same time. We have GPRTU that has become an extortion association whereby they find ways and means to extort from the people. In the past, nobody say, in the history of the Republic of Ghana, this is the time petrol boy fupa. So why is it say car ding? Now let's look at what they were talking about in 2024. It's about state transport. Sa ayalolo na meka ho asem kire no. Before elections or 2 years before elections, Ghanaians started talking and asking Akufo-Addo ne Bawumia by any MPP for say, what has happened to the government transportation system? At a point, some young men even tried to show us the Eto Ayalolo buses and STC. And so national security for more MPP, they started going after people who wanted to expose the government, which decided to neglect your transportation system. This is when MPP, they were in power.
Have tried to fix the country's transport.
Let's now continue with
this video you're about to watch. This is the current state of Ayalolo na. John Mahama buying Ejama Akufo-Addo, almost 300 cars, 300 buses, and 2026. Let us go and check the status of the buses now. MPP by inherited 8 years ago. Ayalolo and the STC. Let's go. This is the current situation we are facing.
Let's now continue with our series on public transportation, and hundreds of Ayalolo buses have been grounded for years without maintenance, while passengers continue to bear the brunt of vehicle scarcity in the capital. Currently, only 80 out of 245 Ayalolo buses procured in 2016 are operating. Here's a report by Christian Yali.
Some have their windscreens completely broken. Others are literally sitting on the ground. Many do not have seats in them, as hundreds of the Ayalolo buses continue to rot away in a yard at the Achimota News Station. Many of these buses were never operated, but have been left under the mercy of the weather for nearly a decade. It remains a pity, as government now makes efforts to service Metro Mass buses or even procure new ones for public transportation.
I'm sure that this is one of the transport minister would take a keen interest in if we are looking at bringing more buses, especially the agreements that we know has been signed to bring in about 100 of the EV buses, the electric buses, and even the current arrangement with Metro Mass to get more of their buses coming into town to transport people. But you see a lot of them here. See, these ones, all their tires have been removed. Let me show you just another of the bus with the windscreens and everything torn apart. Nothing to write home about. Even if you decide to maintain, it would cost you a lot. Grounded, no attention paid to them.
Buses now MPP better almost 400 buses. They left them to rot. All because they wanted to create their own internal transportation system. Mukobusa, me papa Adakabre. When the MPP came to meet Ayalolo buses, John Mahama, Ejama, NPP are buying 2016, they decided to break all of them and keep them at bay. And almost say they didn't maintain even one. And the funny thing is, Bawumia ne Akufo-Addo, the NPP, they did not retool the transportation system. For 8 years, when was the last time I would say I buying a MPP are buying it to me retool the transportation system and augment or try to refurbish the transportation system? They never did that because they wanted to run the transportation system themselves by making sure their private companies in Ghana took over the transportation system. I'm about to Ayalolo, almost 400 buses. They messed all of them up. Almost to don't be the and these are the same people today screaming. Kwadwo Sheldon kwasiampanyi na nim se petuo ba. Jantre ni or wari jantre ni Spanish for dini ne girl okro ha no. Sa kwasiampanyi not Ghana. It's a small boy, so sometimes I don't even want to waste my time on that fool. Now let's go. The current state of Metro Mass. This is Akufo-Addo 8 years. The current state of Metro Mass. Ope aban bus afo. Do you know why we are struggling today in Accra? This is Metro Mass, the current state, after Akufo-Addo will take over.
This is the Metro Mass Transit Limited head office, and as part of our Transport Challenges campaign, we visited this place to find out exactly what the issues are. Where I stand is the head office, and we are told some of these buses will be moving very soon to Kaswa Enclave, and many of them will also be going towards Adenta and other parts. We are fortunate to have here with us the Deputy MD in charge of operation, Harana Radio, joining us to give us some further explanation on what exactly it is. Explain to us, what exactly is a challenge? You are told about 400 of your vehicles are not functional. How did you get here?
Thank you very much. Like you rightly pointed out, let me take our viewers a bit into some historical account of where we are. As you are aware, Metro Mass was birthed out of then defunct Omnibus Service Authority, as you put it, OSA. By 2003, under the elsewhere Kufuor administration, through an act of parliament, Metro Mass was established. When Metro Mass was established, President Kufuor began with about 500 buses. Then Mills Mahama, spanning from 2009 to 2016, augmented our fleet level with additional 500 buses, summing up to about 1,000 buses as of 2016. When the NDC exited power in 2016, at 2017, when the MPP administration took over the reins of power, at Metro Mass, they put about 400 buses on scraps. Then, 2 months into the elections, specifically October 2024, additional 313 buses, 313 buses, were also put on scraps, sold to some individuals allegedly associated with the previous management or administration. Unfortunately, from the sale of the 300 buses, we were told that then management realized a paltry 2.9 million out of the sale of 313 buses. Currently, we are routing averagely about 115 buses across Ghana. We have 90 buses at various levels of repairs. We have close to about 197 buses, specifically 197 buses declared by the technicians or the technical department as unserviceable. So that is the sorry state of Metro Mass.
How many of them which are unserviceable? How many?
Currently, we have about 197 buses declared by the technical department as unserviceable.
So what do you do with them?
Well, as it stands now, per the law, Board of Survey has been put together. They've come around the country, submitted their reports, which will be taken to the next level for consideration. And the sorry state of it was that you realize that previously, poor maintenance culture, lack of proper supervision, occasioned the movement which has resulted in the kind of, wastage that has, bedeviled our company. Unfortunately, the previous administration also embarked on getting or retooling the company with those buses you see there, the Dawu buses. And these buses are the nightmare of the company. Unfortunately, those buses were procured by the previous administration. These buses came without a single spinner, without a single boot, no spare parts. And it is very difficult.
These are the facts. And the ATM, aban buses when. Na okano osi osa. Kufuor betu osa, na osa egu. And na Kufuor the 500 buses by ne befriend Kufuor bus. Ata Mills ne Mahama baye, and omode another 500 beka ho. John Mahama, every power in 2016, odane almost 1,000 buses ema Kufuor say aban Metro Mass buses ni. Monje mun maintaini na yemfa nye dwuma o Ghana. As 2017, John Mahama move free power. Na buses 2024 buses are nanado danko Kufuor mo 2017 400 and I'm say you know something 400 no ni nyina say 2024 313 omeka say ni nyina say that is almost 713 buses omutwitwa ni nyina ye co-ports sa ni nyina say entumi nye dwuma. You inherited close to over 1,000 buses. Almost free power no. Now we have less than maybe 300 buses in Ghana. And these buses are intercity buses. They are not intracity buses. Ayalolo no, they were intra-city. The difference between intra-city and intercity, then they say, Kofor buses no, they were the ones going to Ofori-Atta, Kumasi, Takwa, Aboso, Asankregwa, intercity. And a John Mahama Eddie Ayalolo no sube pay so say, and when you intra-city, and no from Adenta to Legon, from Legon to Kaswa, from Kaswa to Eddie Pediase. That is what they were doing. But these people came into power. Nana Komia campaign, the STC insa, the State Transportation Ministry insa. They could not. Mukai said me a scandal be about Sa buses ready bino. Mukai, that was 2017 or 18. I came to expose the chief of staff. Omokoto buses via one was worth about $17,000. $70,000. Mukai, I did the scandal. Sa buses some of the buy no. Omoto the low grade buses then do 20. And now omo betche some to buses 500. Later koye search Bibia would say the chief of staff Fremont Parry and the transport minister then. Sa transport minister now and there what man fear Canada Japan that guy. Omo no di saskano. Omo the bus by na span abakundemu. The bus did not have any backup equipment or tools and to sustain the buses. They just went to bring bus to 3 weeks and a bus in Abubuye. Now, we are talking about a transportation system that is collapsing. Now, can we, in 1 year, blame a government that came to inherit all these problems? I will not say the government is not responsible. It is the responsibility of the government to find ways and do what? Find ways to solve this problem. And in 2025, Dorcas, a deputy transport minister, was sent out of the country to go and inspect and look for buses that can come and augment what we have in Ghana. Sama mi weja nimba egu Ghana eko abrochire kwatena abrochire be 2 days. Because of Kwadwo Sheldon ne Kwasia form ko Twitter to get buses for mama amenom, mosewanom, mebusu form Kwasia form kan okorero to for them to at least arrive home alive, no. Jimmy say, let's pick on the woman. The woman who is a deputy minister, no, you are picking on her. What about the minister himself? I am not saying the minister is not working, but the issue here is it is deliberate. Now, the issue with buses problem or Ghana, no. The number one problem, and they say, any petrol asem, a GPRTU, omo drivers, they say they should try and sabotage this government. These are the facts. The GPRTU now catch drivers and they say they should try everything possible to get as much as they can from the passengers into the Omuyano Accra, say, and an man be cano all the way 2024. Trip and can also one trip from Circle to Adenta. Now done 3 trips. All the way of passengers no circular. I maybe I make 37. Into more I make 37. No, nipa na free fee ba no. Wa budget say every day. Me the 15 Ghana cedis be for car. Me fo baako, me fo mienu, me fo miensa. Now, nipa na bedu cycle no. Obia ofa car baako all the way to Adenta. No ofa another baako, no dey akọ ebia ebri no. Now driver for ne catch and say, media and when you go to cycle right now and Kaneshi, you see it. Can you see ya not maintenance form? I wait there. Uniska menfo. Ye call only ye free high. Ye call 37. Instead say maintenance any driver no ebe loading from Circle to Madina no. They are now loading from Circle to 37. Now when you get to 37, nipa ni sisi no. Or say okay, say no car ni ha ebeko 30 ebeko Madina there. Then ye sell load fresh from 37 to Madina. Into one trip also 5 cities no. Then you end up paying 2 times of one trip. And that is the extortioner driver for no GPRTU for him, because this could have been stopped. Say GPRTU for your imagine say they are going to have their men stationed at each station and a loading point. Into your GPRTU for more loading pointer. Ufri circle, but ufri circle. Na enisa ujina or some directors at Twaso. But then the GPRTU people know say how many driver for na passengers no into what happens and say how many passengers the drivers are making their unusual stops. They are stopping at places they are not supposed to stop to offload passengers and reload passengers no. GPRTU knows into the say omo members, because GPRTU can issue a statement and say, if you are our member, now load from Circle to Medina, you are not supposed to stop at 37 and reload. You have to tell the passengers to say, from Circle, you are going to Medina, and it is 2 cities. But GPRTU for any they know. They just want to sabotage the government, because government in the buses, no. They know, say, the previous administration had destroyed the transportation system. So this is the time they have to make money out of the vulnerable passengers. It is also, it is not about petrol. This is a mate. We're a mate. I would do mate.
Rather from above, from our masters. Yeah. So what about the master will say is what we also go about it. As well as you could also know that right of late the traffic has been worrying. We could be in the traffic for almost 2-3 hours. So if we did not increase the price, it goes against us too. That's the reason that we do that. Absolutely nothing else more. Fire. Rather from above, from our masters. Yeah. So what about the master will say is what we also go about it. As well as you could also know that right of late the traffic has been worrying. We could be in the traffic for almost 2-3 hours. So if we did not increase the price, it goes against us too. That's the reason that we do that. Absolutely nothing else more. Fire.
What's the orca? Instructions from above. Every driver, be or commercial driver on the streets of Accra, majority are part of GPRTU. Or see, instructions from above. I need the traffic community. Yes, you adapted a strategy to extort passengers. GPRTU knows this. Now, Shadida GPRTU, they want to play that victim role and say they want to now act like they are the victims. It is GPRTU, because GPRTU, stopping what these drivers are doing. A good station, it is because of what the drivers are doing. Because Kabiaba, now all my passengers no dealer, passengers no end to me and handle. Because me a student, your mama 5 cities say, me fan for car in and out. Now right now, open so me go C37. Obia me come Medina. How am I going to come back tomorrow? How am I going to get home? The passengers onim say, drivers are cheating them, and it's unacceptable. So what happens is Obiba na afe trotro besiwa. Hey, only 50 Ghana unko because here they 37. Oh, you ever see a Medina? That be 37. 37 30 Ghana. Instead say 37 be 10 Ghana. Now go for 37 and that's why another 2 Ghana no. Or say 37 quite 10 Ghana. From 37 no to the Adenta no 20 Ghana. So now the passengers keep piling up and piling up. Into bounce a cars no to me ba. Omo kan no obi ankasa, omo kwa no makodan omo ring road, no masa kodan omo no maba. Omo ba, I right now there. Yeah, 37 bim. Right now, Okpongbulo, 6 cities. Odu Okpongbulo no you obi esi form. Na afi obusa, okay, mo amoko 37, mo ya saying, yeah 17, mo nyina mo 37, 30. So that is what they are doing. They are extorting the people. Into majority of passengers, omudu station wa no ma can sinsemu. So they keep coming because rush hour 4:30, 5:30, 6:30. Amount for point juma, nkofo upon school. Then the people keep piling up. Into that congestion in town. And then so many people sitting and not getting cars to go home because a GPRTU the drivers near. But what the GPRTU guys are doing, and they are deliberately extorting. Mami kancho Nana Komia our VIP buses be 30. Nana Komia ko VIP muko busa da kabre. Nana Komia no nam wo kronfo sana. Ye the STC share sa odi sika ni nyina no. Cause champagne no ope Bawumia chief of staff aye. And you see Asamoah si no Nana Komia can be. He has stayed away from it because they caused the problem. They turned our state transport into their personal business. Now go and listen to GPRTU. Take GPRTU for Asamoah.
We have been seeing some reductions on petroleum products, and it's clear. And someone will ask why, drivers are not reducing their transport fares. For the past year, and that was the beginning of 2025. And drivers started complaining about, by then the fuel prices were high. During around June, April thereabout, we were asked to reduce our transport fares by 15%. This reduction came by the reduction of petroleum products. We were looking forward for the other component, like the spare parts, the lubricant, and the taxes to also come down. but he couldn't do that. We complained, and the promise we gave the public was that in as much as spare parts are high and fuel is not the only component we use, we are trying as hard as we can to, to hold on with our current transport fares so that we can actually end the year without
GPRT for the Asamoah the Oka. Or say, 2025, around April, no yet petrol so now I'm expect to say and spare pass will become from 20 April. And Thomas the reason why dear and the omoto to woman in say, Omunim say at petrol so now so spare pass wedding. Now then, trot to a crack one so debut fit him. Now some would debia much engine every single day, much engine a just pipe. Every single day, mu change mo carburetor. Every single day, mo dobu. This is what we are talking about. A GPRT for the shake no no. They know. Now you know the funny thing. Abosio can for now GPRT for episode play victim e blame no. Abosio can for so they spoke. Mumia go ti Abosio can for spare parts no boy diana.
And in Ghana, we all use different cars. You understand? So we told them with Sprinter we are working with the people, the importers that brings the engines and parts in. We are dialoguing with them. But if you come to Toyota, Vitz, with Uber and everything, prices have dropped. Batteries, headlights, shocks. I mean, the dollar is down, so there's no reason why we are raising our prices. You understand? We have a challenge with the Sprinter, the people that sell the Sprinters. That's the only challenge we have. But aside that, you can go to all the stores around here. Prices have dropped. I have engines here that I was selling for 15,000. Now I'm selling for 10,000. And it's just a few people that bring the Sprinter engines and parts to Ghana. It's about maybe 8 people.
What you come for no? Say your engine going to turn 15,000. Yeah, test about 10,000. Nyoma boss aba form. Ya ko for nyoma ye na enim. Se nyoma boy den e beka. Nyoma bia nkosoro. Enti se obi ti waka say ye nyoma boy den. Enti na ende cars no omo pese omo bete so e na GPRT for ne boa. They know what they are doing, eh? Majority of commercial vehicles now juma won kran no GPRT mpedifo ne dia. And when these things happen, they make money out of you. And intina a few weeks ago, Namekacha Abain said they need to partner some private investors and bring more public buses. Niyangu GPRT, you know. Hey, our problem as a nation. Kroma yeni GPRT wow. Eya buying bus. And the government, if they cannot take the responsibility or the financial burden, they should meet the private sector halfway and make sure every region has 500 to 600 buses working for the government and the prices being subsidized. You will see, say, GPRT will be of no use. The question here is, what is the use of GPRT? In Ghana, our transportation system, what role does GPRT play? What do they bring on board? Oh, cool. Driver ni bia wanoma peteshie wundia kwa yie. Ye kuo obi driver ni bia kwaji obi yere me abodi duantie koka enkwasiade omo ya no. They don't educate the drivers, they don't do anything for the drivers, they don't advocate for anything. All that they do is they get up in the morning, they extort their passengers, and that is what they keep doing, and they are taking advantage of Ghanaians. And what we are seeing today is not any serious thing. It is a consistent, deliberate action by some group of people to make some Ghanaians struggle. And I can tell you for a fact, if GPRTU and the government, government and for police, stations are you're picking nipa, you're dropping nipa, and the police build their post there and say, we are going to make sure, we are going to work with GPRTU. No car will charge over this price, and no car will say so. Load way free. Circle. Everybody 37. I say load way free 37 across circle. We are not going to allow you. See what will happen in Ghana. They will be in line. Basically, people are extorting the system. We had an administration that did not retool the government the transport system, and that is what the John Mahama administration is looking at. And nothing about Docas Afotemo to coin copper buses aba Kwadwo Sheldon kwasi campaign na on the jantre ni bia wo ha no etiti social media Jimmy because of Bawumia. A foolish boy, dirty boy like that who represent nothing in life, a foolish nincompoop, such a useless guy who cannot even come out and go do DNA, say Akurani and the bar. Not Jimmy way, sit there and they think they can do the same thing they did to Hannah, Vicky Hammer. And that's the same thing they do. And this power be they look for women who are productive, who are out there, who are confident, who look good, and they want to go after them. That is what the NPP does. Because Omo man wayanchir. NPP mbesiafu wayanchir. Omo to say nkokuo. So anytime they see a beautiful woman, a nice woman, a vocal woman, a woman who is confident to be part of the NDC, they want to go after them. And that is what Kwadwo Sheldon now, that is what they are doing. And we are going to take it to them. Where on earth do you go after a deputy minister when the minister is there? Where on earth have you all because they are victimizing the woman. They want to try and get under her skin. They want to try and create something and put on her the way they succeeded in 2013, 14, 15. And this is the kind of men, useless. These are men who are basically, they have this inferiority complex. So Obabia your enemy. They don't have that confidence. Actually, to someone proposal to no ba wa dwene adwuma bema kwasiampanya and tisa kuraba we gina wonim so pewa na wo se fe hwe nanim na hwe bema eda na se je na be fe hwe bema nanim be kire ne bema na wa makwasiampanya de horror we ahye wase a jimini we ade no betuma aye. And we sit in Ghana and we entertain this kind of foolishness. So the issue with transportation in Ghana today, it is not any complicated problem. The problem is that GPRTU and the drivers are taking advantage of Ghanaians, and the government needs to use the security agencies. Oh, a commercial car now want to mean you park. Now, if you use a car in system, but in the transport minister has made a statement. They are about to release some buses into the system. In fact, the intercity buses, they are recalling buses now for them to come and work intracity. Into metro masses. Bas kakra was system nimu no ene ayalolo kakra was system nimu no de ekọ abonten de se omunyina yente so namre fie na at least the government will start using them. But this is just an interim measure. The government should have a long-term measure. The long-term measure is to try and bring in more buses and try and make sure say the GPRTU concept is eradicated from our system. Because GPRTU 4-way omotete Ghana ya to petrol drivers munkotum. And so driver on the car is roadworthy and onye. The car is not even supposed to be on the road. Driver for majority of them, their cars are not supposed to be on the road. This is the roads minister. Sorry, the transport minister.
It was initial arrangements just to cater for the festive periods, which we did, and it was very helpful. But we realized that when they were withdrawn, it created some challenges. So I re-engaged the MD of Metro Mass Transit Limited and then the Intercity STC coaches, and they have reintroduced some few of them. We are looking at the daily basis movement and seeing if we need to add more, then we'll add more. Again, we are also at the verge of seeing how we can get the private sector to bring in more of the buses and other vehicles to be able to help when it gets to peak hours in the mornings and in the evenings. But we have called back. When we withdrew the services, we saw the tension it created, and we have called back some of the buses to start again making their movements. We are studying the ground to see whether they will need more or we will have to continue with the Skarata.
The MPP of Darocha, Sakiskek, Victor Wusu, Kofi Buzia, Professor Edubuahen, Alajete, J.A. Kufuor, those men of value, those men of integrity are not what we have today. I tell you without mincing words, the 5 people who are contesting, wanting to be flag bearers, are just sankwas. I tell you without mincing words, the 5 people who are contesting, wanting to be flag bearers, are just sankwas. I tell you without mincing words, the 5 people who are contesting, wanting to be flag bearers,